Good morning, students. Let us study our next topic related to hybrid cloud, that is creating continuous delivery and reusable web services. So creating continuous delivery is basically a software configuration management approach where the software is basically developed at a rapid speed and the frequency of the delivery is also very fast. They try to ensure that the major processes are built faster with an experienced team and they are able to provide the delivery very fast. So let us see more about reusable web services also. So this basically focuses on various web services that are reusable. Let us see more about that. So ARA is basically application release automation and testing services. So this basically provides a set of platform of services and this is to support DevOps automation. So capabilities basically go beyond PaaS services and basically to support the more complex provisioning, integration and testing requirements for complex hybrid cloud applications. So these are some of the complex provisionings which are basically provided in an environment of PaaS services, and complex services are basically very hard services which are going to have various stages, and also the integration and testing requirements basically for building the complex hybrid cloud applications. So creating continuous delivery, basically a unified environment is provided that basically ensures a consistency across various development and deployment stages. So various teams are available who basically leverage the capabilities of shared tools and frameworks according to the specific requirements that are specified for developing that specific software. So these platforms basically provide the teams with a complete environment of application development and deployment services, and this is basically provided to support continuously delivery of applications. As it is at a rapid stage, the stages are going to grow faster and the frequency of producing the software is going to be very short. So DevOps basically can help to ensure or automate the application delivery pipeline. So automation, with automation the cycle is going to be fast, it can be rapidly developed. So the automation basically in the pipeline could be from provisioning to software build to testing and production. These are the various cycles through which the automation can be provided through the pipeline. So DevOps teams are basically able to start projects with more fast speed or more quickly, and they can also stay focused on the task of delivering applications, and basically that is to meet the expectations of the customer. So DevOps frameworks basically can be more easily shared across large distributed teams. Teams are going to be distributed all over the globe. So here you need to maintain appropriate consistency, specifically in PaaS. And when it is shifted to the cloud, we have seen it has lot of advantages. So when we are using PaaS or DevOps services, you need to have a proper framework. So frameworks basically help to ensure quality across the application delivery lifecycle. So some of the examples of services available in DevOps frames include configuration management, application build and testing. So these are the applications basically or the examples of services that are available in DevOps frameworks. So configuration management, this is also one of the important steps basically, and developers use software configuration management services basically to keep track of all the changes that basically come across, and during the changes there are various versions you come across and a module of code. So you have to keep track of the changes, version and modules of code, and that is basically created during the entire life cycle of the software or software development process. So this code is basically stored on the online repository. There are many examples for online repository. GitHub is one of the best examples. We will be seeing about it. So as I told you, GitHub is an example for popular based code services and specifically for online repository. So software configuration management services, these basically help the developer to manage the sandbox environment, and that is basically used to create and test the code. So this is basically a diagram which shows the different stages of configuration development. It basically starts with plan, code, build, test Then after testing you go into the release phase, the deployment phase, the operation phase and monitor. And it is a continuous thing. So again the planning starts and the entire cycle starts as shown in the diagram. So these are some of the tools basically used for configuration management. You have Chef, Puppet, CF Engine, Ansible and SaltStock. So these are basically software configuration management tools, very useful for managing the software throughout the cycle. Then you have basically application build. It is basically the process of building the application and it has various steps and they include writing code, compiling code, basically into executable, compiling the code into executable, running and then testing the code. So this is the build cycle. So when creating an application, developers basically build multiple modules of code. So when an entire application needs to be built, there are going to be various multiple modules. So that needs to be built and each will have its own dependencies. Each multiple codes are going to have individual dependencies among them. So the build services in the DevOps frameworks can help the developer basically keep track of the individual modules of code. So DevOps frameworks is very helpful basically when the dependencies are separated, the individual modules basically could be easily tracked by using the DevOps frameworks. So software specific services are added to build deployable applications. So these are some of the tools for DevOps build tools. Some of them are listed as something like Microsoft Engine, MS Build, Visual Build, Visual Studio, Apple and Gull. These are all listed here. These are just to give you an idea what are the different DevOps build tools. These are application build tools. Then we have the testing phase and testing also has to be very continuously done and basically to get a consistent feedback between the teams. Feedback will help you track the requirements whether they are met or no. So an automated approach of testing is very useful basically to increase the speed and speed to complete and the quality of the results also to be maintained. So if the quality of results are good, obviously the testing is going to be a good thing. So testing needs to happen at the same pace as the coding. So as soon as the coding is done, testing also needs to be done parallelly. So the continuous delivery kind of concept is basically maintained. The overall goal is to shorten the testing cycles and decrease the cost by finding and fixing errors earlier in the code development process. So as soon as the code is done, it is basically tested and the testing cycle has to be short and it will basically decrease the cost. So the cost decrease is basically related to finding the errors early. If the errors are found early, it will basically reduce the cost during the cost development process, specifically the early stages. So development testing services basically make it simple to access and isolate production systems. So by testing services, you can simply access and isolate the production system so that the developers can stop wasting time, mocking up simulations and avoid risk of discovery runtime errors. So these are basically some of the wasting time issues, specifically like simulation, mocking up simulation and the other various stages which are basically repeated for no reason. So you can avoid the risk of discovering runtime errors in production or at late stages of delivery. So all these things, if they are tackled early, the errors, runtime errors in the production could be handled early and also or maybe at the later stages of the delivery could cause sometimes. So this is basically a continuous testing diagram. You have coding, you integrate, you deploy and then you monitor and then parallelly you perform the test. So this is basically where the entire cycle of the testing is basically shown. So these are some of the tools for various stages, like you have configuration management we discussed, you have Chef, SaltStock, Puppet and then Ansible. For continuous integration you have Jenkins, you have TeamCity, you have Circle CI and various other tools. For microservices you have Docker, Mesos and various other tools like Elasticbox. For collaboration you have Jira software, we discussed about Jira software earlier. Then you have Slack, HipChat and Trello. For monitoring basically you have Mont, then Ganglia and various other tools. For developing you have Visual Studio, which you have used a couple of times in your undergraduation, and then various other tools like Microsoft Azure will be discussing a little bit, or we have discussed already basically about Microsoft Azure, that is a cloud environment. So these are some of the tools for various stages. So now testing frameworks basically includes various services and for testing, and they are basically user interface testing where the different interfaces are tested, load testing where the different load at various stages is basically checked, then regression testing, integration testing, and performance and scalable testing. So these are some of the testing that are basically done in the testing frameworks. So virtualization services also can be applied to allow for the integration testing at an earlier point. So virtualization services are also very useful and they are basically applied to allow integration testing, and specifically at an earlier point in the development process, as these are very complicated. Virtual application environments can be tested prior to production, helping to reduce costly errors and improve the time to market. So virtualization application environment is basically very complex, as we told you. So these can be tested prior to production, and this will reduce the cost. If they are tested early, it will reduce the cost and it will improve the time to market, means it can be produced into the market very fast. Now there are certain reusable web services, and these are basically used to again speed up the development and deployment. Some of the reusable services listed are security services, mobile application services. Security services could be used for security, various security issues. Mobile application services which will be basically running on mobile, then analytics services which are basically used for analyzing various services, and IoT services basically used are very popular today for all the IoT devices. So security services, as I told you, integrating PaaS environments that builds that basically has built-in security services, they have many benefits. If at all the services are built in the architecture, they have many benefits and a better security environment can be provided. So with so many different points of connection basically in a hybrid environment, there are various points of connection in hybrid environment, and it becomes a major issue to handle each and every point, as it is going to have a multitude of security vulnerabilities, and this could be introduced even during the application development and deployment process. So you have to keep track of each and every connection that is basically developed in the or included in the hybrid cloud. So PaaS environment basically should include the best practices approach, and this is to secure in such a manner to see that the risks are avoided. Security services can be included in delivery automation and to ensure that the security testing is done regularly. So if a team follows a consistent and automated approach to security, then they can deliver more secure applications to the business. So if there is a consistent and automated approach basically for security, it could be done, the development could be done faster, and so the delivery also could be done, and the security is going to be intact, and all the business applications are going to be basically more secure. So mobile application services are basically typically designed to analyze data from multiple sources and specifically in order to provide users with the information they need on demand. So mobile services basically has those applications which they need data immediately. So that is where it is on demand. Like for example, travel direction. When you're traveling a specific location, you need to know the location data. So you need the data immediately. So that is where these can be available on the mobile services. Then restaurant suggestions, you're going to a specific location, you want to see which restaurant you want to use. So again the need is immediate. Record of banking transactions also, whenever the transaction is done, immediately you get a message. So all these application services are basically very immediate services. So DevOps can basically leverage their services designed to push information to all the application users. So sending the information to these devices is basically termed as pushing the information, and these information is basically used by the application users or basically a set of users and the devices. IoT services, this is very popular today. So DevOps also can keep up the pace of the business requests by leveraging services to support these applications. So DevOps teams basically has to manage the pace basically for the business requirement. So they can do that by leveraging services which are supporting the major applications. Like for example, some of the IoT applications services basically focus on communication, enabling building your application to communicate with and consume data collected by you. That is through a device, connected device, sensor and a gateway. So these are some of the assignments for today. Just have a look at it. Very much related to the topic which we have studied. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at the specific email ID. We are done for today. Thank you.